All right, thanks a lot for your contribution. Red Hot Breakfast Show, Friday, the 2nd of October, 2015. It's now time for 5 minutes with KCM.
You are now listening to 5 Minutes with KCM, the segment that takes an inside look into the operations of Konkola Copper Mines. KCM, Zambia's largest integrated copper producer. KCM is a subsidiary of Vedanta Resources PLC. You are now listening to 5 Minutes with KCM, the segment that takes an inside look into the operations of Konkola Copper Mines. KCM, Zambia's largest integrated copper producer. KCM is a subsidiary of Vedanta Resources PLC.
Thank you once again for joining us on this show, 5 Minutes with KCM, sponsored by Konkola Copper Mines, which, as you know, is one of Africa's largest integrated copper producers. Now, last week we were talking to Mr. David Ngandu, Vice President Technical, who shared with us a number of aspects around environmental management in KCM. Now, this week we will be looking at a very integral part of the KCM business, and this is safety. To help us discuss this subject is Mr. Felix Sikaonga, who is the Safety Manager at KCM. Good morning, Mr. Sikaonga, and welcome to the program.
Good morning to you, and good morning to you all listeners.
Now, let's start by you telling us a little about who you are and just what your job entails at KCM.
Well, as it's already been said, I'm Felix Sikaonga. I'm the Group Safety Manager for KCM. I did mining at the DNZ, which is now currently Copperbelt University, and did mining for over a period of 25 years, and then went into safety after getting a qualification from the British Safety Council, coming out with an international diploma in occupational health and safety. And from that, I've been running safety for the past 8 years.
Interesting. So moving on to the subject of safety, could you please share with us why safety is such an important aspect of our day-to-day lives?
Simple. Because we care for people. You see, because at the end of the day, your greatest asset is the people that you work with. So KCM as a whole has put a lot of emphasis on people, and the put up system to ensure that the people who come into our plant, be it the contractor, KCM employee or visitor, come in the plant and go back home as they came. So at the end of the day, we are a company that is put a lot of effort to ensure that people are safe. As you are aware, a person who is safe at work is a person who's going to be a productive worker, and much more a person who's going to pass on that contribution to the community and at large to the nation. So people are the greatest assets for KCM.
I understand safety is of paramount importance in the business of mining, and at KCM in particular. Tell us about that.
Well, as you may be aware, mining generally is a very risky and hazardous operation. And as KCM, we have put up systems in place to ensure that all these are mitigated. In short, what we are saying is that as people come into the plant, we ensure that they speak, walk and talk safety. Before they start work, they do what we call a safety share, so that indeed they motivate themselves to do things the right way. And before they start any work, we do what we call a 5-minute safety stop. We pause and re-examine what we're about to do, so that at the end of the day, whatever operation, be it be risky, be it be whatever it is, we do it the right way and do it safely.
Now, can you tell us about the Chachilamo Safety Campaign? What is it all about?
Well, the Chachilamo Safety Campaign was launched after recording a number of instances which were worrying to the company. And like I said before, we care for people. So we put up a system which was going to address this, so that at the end of the day, we capture the many instances that were unwanted in our sites. It ran for 3 months, and it captured the supervisors and the managers to go down and tell exactly what is required to be done at the point of doing work. You see, after the analysis that was done, most of the injuries that we're recording, instances that we're recording, were happening at the point that somebody is doing work. So we needed to address that, and that was a period of 3 months where managers were going into the plants, supervisors going into the plants, speaking to people to ensure that they do the right thing exactly at the point of doing it. And it worked for us, because at the end of that 3 months, the many injuries and instances that were recording kind of came to a halt.
Now, that must be a challenge in an environment where you have 16,000 employees. So how do you manage safety in mining, which seems to be very dangerous?
You are right. 16,000 people is quite a challenge. But we've got systems in place that entails each and every person being under supervision. We've got structures that cater for all, be it the contractor or KCM. Nampundwe has got his own she manager, she reps, and everyone is involved in safety. Changa the same, Mkana the same, and Konkola the same. So at the end of the day, no one goes out of the plant or comes into the plant without being attended to. 16,000 may look like a larger number, but systems that are in place look at each and every person who crosses our gates.
Now, what about employees' well-being and health? Would you say that is also part of safety?
Absolutely. Safety is not a standalone. You see, it's actually occupational health and safety. So the health part of it is very, very important. As you may be aware, if you come into the plant with ailments, or you come into the plant with things that are weighing you down, it will not do any good. We have rolled out a program which we're calling Stepathon, where we're encouraging people to do at least 10,000 steps, so that at the end of the day, the health part of it is catered for. And each and every site of KCM has got a gym which is well equipped, and we encourage workers to go there, to go and do workouts, to go and do exercises, so that indeed they are fit people. And each site has got a clinic, a hospital that deals with that part. In other words, health is as important as safety, because these cannot be separated. They go together hand in hand.
Well, Mr. Sikaonga, we know we'd love to get more information from you when it comes to safety, but we have now come to the end of the program. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure speaking to you.
Well, listeners, this has been 5 Minutes with KCM. You can catch the show next week at the same time.
That was 5 Minutes with KCM. That was 5 Minutes with KCM. That was 5 Minutes with KCM. Join us again next week at the same time for a chance to know more about Konkola Copper Mines, Zambia's largest integrated copper producer. KCM is a subsidiary of Vedanta Resources PLC.
Hot FM, live outside broadcast. Live outside broadcast. Number one for news and entertainment.
Climate change justice is not a problem of the